Hey guys, Elite Legionarii here, and today I'll be bringing you a 1 versus 1 10k no rules for Rome Total War. I will be in command of Parthia, and my opponent Cronus will be in command of the Brutii Romans. So, being no rules, I decided to go with a somewhat realistic Parthian army, which would contain mostly horse archers. But I didn't want to super spam like 10 or 12 horse archers, even though that would probably actually be quite realistic. I didn't want to. I just don't like the idea of doing that. It's just, I don't know, I just think it's kind of, it's sort of cheap in a lot of ways, because I mean, we all know how absolutely devastating horse archers can be. But anyway, my force consists of 4 units of standard archers with a bronze attack upgrade each, and they've got a few shots into these, getting a few volleys into these Praetorian cavalry, which have no upgrades, by the way. I have 6 units of bronze attack horse archers. I have 4 units of bronze cataphracts, and my general, the 5th one, is silver. So that's my forces. Of course, like I said, he lost a few cavalry in that little attempt to try and get my archers there. But he has 2 units of Praetorian Cav, no upgrades. He has 4 units of, it looks to be very heavily upgraded, gold, and a couple of experience each on these Archer Auxilia, and 4 units of silver gold Triarii. Personally, if I were him, I wouldn't actually use Triarii. Now, that is, it's a real shame though, because Triarii are and realistically, Triarii should have been a lot more powerful than they are in this game. They're horribly, shockingly, and disgracefully underpowered, in my opinion, in this game. Hopefully Rome 2 fixes that, because they were the greatest, the elite of the early Roman armies, and they're not good enough in this army, and I'll show you what I mean by that in a moment. So, anyway, I'm going to missile duel. Now, this is what I don't like sometimes what happens. When they cantab circle, they fuse themselves together, and it actually nullifies the usefulness of cantab circle, because the circle is so packed tight that it just nullifies the fact that they'll always hit something anyway, because it's so packed tight. So that's not working as well as I'd like, and it was frustrating me. As you can see, my archers are getting pretty cleaned out. But then again, mine are packing one bronze upgrade, and his are gold, and 2 experience, so he's easily going to clean me up. And they are Archer Auxiliary, so I'm not actually that bothered. So I thought about going for a quick strike then, but I mean his Triarii would come in, so I ignored that. But I want to kind of just spread him out a bit, make him do things like he's doing now. He's turning his Triarii back. I'm spreading his units out a bit so I can just get around behind his flank. Now they wouldn't go back into cantab circle very quickly anyway, and that was a bit annoying. I thought about going for a quick charge on these loose formation Triarii with my cataphracts, and I decided not to in the end. But while they're in loose, I want to try and catch them in loose formation. Triarii can beat cataphracts, but in a lot of ways they usually don't. So the missile skirmishing goes on, but as you can see, I'm having a pretty hard time actually doing much damage to these Archer Auxilia. But he isn't doing a lot of damage to me either, and he's getting spread out trying to chase me around. This is really one of your ideal Parthian armies. Realistically, a Parthian army probably would be like 10 horse archers for every cataphract, but I need much more striking power than that, so I have to go with more cataphracts. But because cataphracts are so expensive, I couldn't really afford a great deal of them. So most of my foot archers are now pretty cleaned out, but a lot of his are getting a nice drubbing as well, although not nearly as much as mine. So here I see his Triarii somewhat disorganised. So I'm going to just charge him. He does turn to face it, but let me explain. Just in wedge formation, I should be able to just cut straight into them. I didn't have a lot of effect there though, but it doesn't really matter, because what's going to happen now is he's going to put all his men onto these 2 cataphracts. His flanks are going to become turned. I'm going to turn around. I'm going to go for this, because I'm confident my cataphracts will hold that. and while I just bring in a massive strike with my other 3 led by my general and just rout the rest of his army. I want to be able to get flank shots here. And look at these Triarii, they're getting beaten. These Praetorian Cav, they're getting beaten. He's going to semi-outflank me, but I'm going to be able to cut him out in the back here with this unit of Horse Archers. They're still getting beaten. And I've only got bronze upgrades. I come in here, look at this, I just slice through this Triarii instantly. I get around the flank over here with my other 3 units of Horse Archers, and I'm just going to get into the backs of all his men. He's going to get cut to pieces, he's going to get shot in the back here. It would have been better to have gone with Praetorian or even more practically Urban Cohort, even though I don't really like Urban Cohort, they would be necessary. But that's just not, that's stupid in a lot of ways. Triarii should be well able to handle even cataphracts. They're a spear-armed unit, they should be able to handle it, but they don't. My opponent didn't play terribly bad. He did let himself get a bit split up, I will say that. But the kind of I was actually the kind of army he had, probably not enough cav against the Parthian army. If he was going to go with Triarii, he might have been better to go with more Praetorian cav as well. And he admits defeat, but
complete. No man can take any credit from you for the crushing of your foes.
So I still think though Triarii was shortchanged. That's a heroic victory, but my opponent did not play badly. It was more a state of the fact that even his Triarii, let me point out, had 5 upgrades and my cataphracts had 2. And once I got into wedge formation, I just smoked them. It was just, I had 915 men, 673 kills and 572 left. He had 761, 397 kills and 80 men left. But he didn't play badly. Some of my cataphracts did take some heavy casualties, but for the most part they just cleaned out. The Horse Archers, loads of kills, not really caught. One of them took 28 though. And look, my archers got pretty creamed. His archer auxiliary were really heavily upgraded, which in all honesty probably wasn't actually the best move. What he should have done was gone with more numerical numbers. And I find in 10k games I've made the mistake of putting too much upgrades into my units and not having enough units all round. So the numbers of the unit, you don't want to. I don't really like to exceed bronze upgrades in most cases because otherwise it's too costly unless you're using a faction that can do. Like say Numidia would be a good faction in a 10k game because its units are cheap. But that's a good game to Cronus. But it kind of demonstrates, I wanted to sort of demonstrate that the fact that Triarii are shockingly underpowered in Rome Total War, which I really hope gets sorted in Rome 2. They wouldn't have been that easily defeated by cavalry, I don't believe so, but they shouldn't be. They are supposed to be the best infantry unit available to pre-marry in Rome, but even Hastati can beat them, so it's not very realistic. But anyway, again, good game to Cronus. Hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you soon next time.